Hello traders, it is Wednesday evening, October 2nd, and it's time for my weekly video. Before I get started, I'd like to mention that everything that you see in the video tonight is available at www.oneoption.com. Option Stalker is the platform that we're using to find these trades. If you're watching this video on YouTube, it's been released a week after the fact. Members get it real time and they're able to act on these trades. This is a swing trading video, so I'm going to be focusing on swing trades. I start each of the videos off with my performance from the prior week. So if you are watching it on YouTube, you can see how we're doing week to week. If you do like this video and you're on YouTube, please subscribe. I'm going to be posting daily videos early in the morning each day for the rest of the week. It'll have actionable day trading stocks on it. So please subscribe. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. So let's get started. Let's see what happened last week. Let's see what happened with the market today. You know I like to start with the market. Market first, market first, market first. So this is where we did the video last week, September 25th, okay? And I said that unless the market was able to get through this high right here, we were not going to be taking any of the long positions. If the market was able to get through this support level, which was 296, then we would start taking short positions. And that's exactly what it did yesterday. So yesterday we would have been acting on the short positions and holding those swing trades, and today we got the big drop. So nothing going on the bullish side, but on the bearish side, we certainly had some progress in the last 2 days. Now what do I see longer term for the market? I'd have to zoom out a little bit. Let's take a longer term perspective. If I draw this trend line right here, you can see that there is a support line forming right here, and it goes right about like that. So the market closed right at that trend line. 288 is approximately that support line. Let's see if we can bounce off of it. If we can't, this is looking like a double top formation. Ideally, in this technical pattern, you see a lower second high. This actually was a little bit higher. It poked through, but for all intents and purposes, kind of looks like a double top formation right now. We need the support level to hold. We broke through the 100-day moving average. We've got the 200-day moving average below. Let's go back to the normal view. So from a trading standpoint, we've had some pretty heavy selling here. We need to make sure that the selling pressure is over. Well, how do we know when that happens? Well, first of all, after a big drop like that and after being below the 100-day moving average, we'll probably bounce a little bit tomorrow, but then we'll see another wave of selling lower, and we'd like to see a nice big bullish hammer off of this 200-day moving average. One where we get a big intraday low right away early in the morning, and then the market rallies and it closes near its high of the day. That would be step one, is a bullish hammer off this 200-day moving average. Then the next day we want to see follow through, and we'd like to get through this trend line right here back on the upside. If we can do that, the coast is pretty clear and we can start taking some long swing trades. Let's go into a 5-minute chart. In the day trading chat room today, I said these two bars right here told me we were in for a nasty day. Two long red bars with a close near the low consecutively, that's a bearish sign. Well, guess what? We'd like to see exactly that formation on a 5-minute chart on the bullish side, and that would be a good indication that the market has put in a low and it's ready to move higher. The other thing that we can look for is a nice big drop. This is not a great example, but you'd see a drop, you'd see a bounce, then you'd see a retracement, but a higher low, and then off to the races. That would be a higher low double bottom. That also would be good news. Until we test that 200-day moving average, even if it's briefly, I don't think we're going to see that lift off. We've got support, 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 support. We've got the 200-day moving average. Everything's converging right around this, call it 284 level. I believe that's where we're going to start to see some really decent support. What about the fundamentals in the market right now? We've got U.S.-China trade talks resuming next week face to face. That's good news. We have a possible deal with Japan. That's good news. We have central banks lowering interest rates around the globe. That's good news. It's also a safety net for the market because it pushes investors into stocks. You can't generate any real net returns in fixed income, so you got to be in stocks. It's the best game in town. So all of that monetary easing puts a safety net under the market. Hey, by the way, what happened to the bad news is good news crowd? We got a weak ISM manufacturing number yesterday and the whole world collapsed. Well, this isn't the first bad manufacturing number we've seen. Actually, we got one a month ago. The market was a little bit soft after that number, but then bam, 2 days later we get ISM services, a robust number. Tomorrow we're going to get ISM services 30 minutes after the open. It's going to be a very important number to watch. The service sector accounts for 80% of our economic activity. It is a much more important number than manufacturing. So yes, manufacturing is important, but it's not nearly as important as services. We need a good services number tomorrow if we're going to see a market bounce. ADP came out today, 135,000 new jobs created in the private sector during the month of September. That was a little soft, about 30,000 less than we would like to see, but it's 1 month worth of soft data. I'm not overly concerned about it. So as long as credit conditions remain stable, which they are, I believe that the market is going to be able to find support in here. It's going to take a few weeks to happen, and then we'll have a nice little lift off, probably back in this range. I don't know that we get through the highs of the year. I don't see a catalyst for that happening, especially not at a forward PE of 17. So I am more slanted towards looking for bullish put spreads right now into earnings and really trying to leverage these major moving averages like that 200-day moving average. Yes, we could come down and test it a couple of times, but if we have stocks with relative strength, they're going to hold up well relative to the market, and we're going to sell those below technical support on those stocks. So we should be able to generate some nice income. By the way, put premiums are elevated. We like that. That makes these credit spreads even more attractive. So market analysis is we got some more weakness ahead. Probably going to test that 200-day moving average. I'll give you a couple of shorts to look at. I'm not going to go gonzo on this because a lot of the move has already been made. I'm more interested in this bounce from a swing trading standpoint that we might get in another week or so and selling some of that put premium. So let's take a look at last week's picks. Again, there were no bullish triggers because the market did not get through this SPY 299 level. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the video. That was the caveat to everything. And it being below 296 was the caveat to taking any of the short positions from last week. So when I outline my market analysis this week and my entry points for bullish and bearish trades, pay particular attention to that because nothing happens until the market says it can happen. Market first, market first, market first. I cannot emphasize that enough. So let's take a look at our longs. APH was a long position, but we didn't take it. We had this nice breakout, and now it's given some of those gains back, but it's still above these major technical support levels. So this stock could be a good bullish put spread if that support holds and the stock starts to have some relative strength. ATVI was another bullish pick. We had this little pullback right here. We're looking at that long green bar here thinking that this gap is filled and the stock might be ready to go back up. And it's held up okay. We had a really big reversal today and a big bullish hammer, which is a sign of buying on a very, very weak day today. That's not a bad sign, but stock, it's okay. Google, we had a big engulfing pattern here. Turned out to be nothing. The stock started to pull back and pull back, fizzled out. We needed to have it get above that big green bar anyway before we would have taken a long position. Letter I, same thing. We had this big green candle in here. No market follow through, no position. Stock starts to pull back a little bit. It's given back some gains, but it's still holding this horizontal breakout right here. So I kind of like it, but not right now with the market pulling back. LRCX was another one of our longs. Had this nice bullish engulf right here. Tried to make it higher. Market didn't help it at all, and now it's kind of pulling back a little bit. So those are all stocks that we liked. STX. We had this big pullback here and a little pop. We're looking for this support level to hold, which it has. STX looks like it wants to go higher. This is a horizontal support level. Yeah, you could probably sell a bullish put spread below that horizontal support. If it holds up, when the market goes down and tests that 200-day moving average, this stock looks like it wants to go higher. So what about the bearish picks? Well, we had ADSK. Remember, we needed the SPY below 296, which we had yesterday. That would have been our short yesterday. ADX got a little bit of follow through today, so yeah, that would have been okay. BYND, we needed a breakdown below this support level right here to take a short. Didn't happen. So we would not have been in this stock. And we did get the market breakdown, but we didn't get the stock breakdown. So nothing going there. MMM. Now that was a nice one. That would be the first day of the short, and there's the follow through, and now we're on major support here. SLB was the final short from last week. Oh yeah, nice selling yesterday, good follow through today. So MMM, SLB would have been definite money makers this week. ADSK would have been a marginal money maker. BYND never took the trade. So not a bad week given what the market's done. Pay attention to my market guidelines. They are critical. So let's go in and find some bearish picks first. I want to start there because I want to blow through it, quite honestly, and I want to focus on some bullish picks. We're going to go into bearish, and man, are we going to have a lot to pick from. So I'm going to just look down the list here, and I'm looking for something that has not completely fallen apart, that's still got some nice downside to it. All of these stocks that you're going to see are going to be weak. And that's a nice breakdown and all, and I would day trade the heck out of these. That's a nice breakdown below horizontal support right there, but a big move today. I'll know the chart when I see it, and when I see it, I'm going to tell you, okay, so this is looking pretty good. Snapchat, we got a lot of downside yet. We've got a breakdown below horizontal support right here. We also have a failed breakout right here. Tried to break out, it's pulling back. Put up our relative weakness indicator. You can see how the stock is weak relative to the market. It breaks below the 100-day moving average. Yes, this would be an acceptable short. So I'm going to put Snap on the list. May not make the final cut, but yes, it looks pretty good. Now that I like. SMPL. I don't know about the option liquidity on this one though. Got a nice little downtrend forming, a crowning pattern here. You have a failed breakout right there. It's below that failed breakout. Big sell today. Good room to the 100-day moving average, so not bad. I want to find something with good options. Right there, broken compression, broken breakout, nice big red candles. Yeah, looks good. Pop Bear is a fantastic search to use, just like Pop Bull is. Nice downtrend here, below the 200-day moving average. Got a downward forming channel in here, lower end, higher end. So yes, that's not a bad looking short either. Want something really good. I want to give you one or two really good ones. That's not bad. Now I'm going to start skipping down and just looking for symbols that I know have some decent option liquidity to it. CVX. Boy, that stock has been hit hard there. Not bad. Uptrend line. Broken uptrend line. 100-day moving average broken. NDAQ. NASDAQ. Not bad. Coca-Cola. Kind of a defensive play. Does well in a weak market, so not my favorite because there will be a flight to safety into stocks like this. 100-day just below it. Not too crazy about that one. Drift, 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 drift lower. There's a breakdown below a 100-day moving average. Abbott, nice downtrend, breakdown here, testing that 200-day. This is a weak stock. It's got some selling momentum. MS. Show me something good here. This is not bad. TTWO, don't know about the option liquidity on this. Downtrend here, broken horizontal support right on that 100-day moving average. I'm going to put it in as a possible one. PayPal breaking the 200-day moving average. Got so many to sift through on the bearish side. I'm going to use one other search. I'm going to try and see if I can cut to the quick here. Find something better. So I'm going to look for heavy volume today. I want stocks that have been selling on heavy volume, and there we go right there. So these have good option liquidity, which is important to us, and heavy volume, and they're below the prior day's low, which doesn't mean that much on a day like this, but I'm going to be clicking through stocks with good option liquidity. McDonald's got almost a head and shoulders. Shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2, breakdown below the neckline, 100-day moving average violation, maybe. But another defensive stock that people tend to go into when market conditions are very weak. So it may hold up pretty well for that reason. Just looking for one more decent short. Facebook below the 200-day moving average through horizontal support here. Doesn't have the kind of momentum that I'm looking for. May not be bad. Looking for that really good pick though. Not quite seeing it yet. All right, well, I've got a few. We're going to really be focusing on the long side anyway. So I'm going to take a look and I'm going to give you, we're going to finalize our short list here. Snap, I think Snap can work. I think Snap can work below this horizontal support level and below the 100-day moving average. NDAQ needs to get below this horizontal support, kind of ranging back and forth. This is a big range here. No, not interested in that one. TTWO, that's nice. That's starting to really roll over. 100-day moving average there, below horizontal support. I like this one. I think those could be our two. MCD. MCD, not bad. Got a breakdown below the 100-day moving average. So I think MCD, I'm not real crazy about it. Got a little bit of a channel right in there. Got a breakdown there. It's got some room. It's got relative strength. Yeah, I'm not crazy about MCD. I'm going to go with the other two. Those will be our picks, and I'll review those a little bit later. Let's find some bullish picks here. Let's find some decent put premium that we can sell. That's going to be my objective. I'm going to go to Pop Bull because I always like Pop Bull. And we have one whopping stock here. Big gap higher. No earnings, at least not showing. Maybe it was an earnings report. Otherwise, it's news. Not real interested in it. Buy into earnings. So these are stocks that tend to rally into earnings season. Costco. I've highlighted this before. I like it into earnings. Sell a bullish put spread right below this horizontal breakout. This horizontal breakout must hold, and it's testing it right now, but it's got pretty decent relative strength. So I like selling this, especially if we can see the stock get above this opening of this red bar right here. I'll drop an alert line. If Costco can get above that line right there, I like it. Then you sell your bullish put spread using that 285 strike price into earnings. Earnings are within 2 weeks, so which actually I'm going to be adding earnings to the chart. I'm going to add a black bar at the very end, and it's going to have an A or a B, A meaning after the close, B before the open. And if you hover over that black bar, it's going to have a little pop-up and it'll tell you what the earnings announcement date is, and I'm going to have that available for stocks that announce within the next 3 or 4 weeks. I haven't exactly decided on that timeline, but that'll be a nice feature because then you'll be able to structure your trades according to when the earnings announcement is due. So I don't know on Costco for sure, but I do like the relative strength, and it tends to rally into earnings, so that's a good one. Let's see if there's anything else with positive today that we can look at. No, nothing of interest to me. And strong after earnings, I like that one as well. We'll be able to look at stocks. I like this. I don't believe THO has great put premiums, not liquid options, I should say. I like that breakout right there. I like that support level. I like that hammer today on a very, very weak day, even though we've got a couple of inverted hammers here off the 200-day moving average. I like this stock. I think it holds up well here. I think you could sell some put premium if it's got decent put premiums available, meaning there's good liquidity. If it has a 30-cent bid-ask spread, forget about it. KBH really strong, not going to mess with that. JBL, I think right at this $34 level, halfway up this green bar. If it can hold that and show some relative strength when the market firms up, I think that could be a nice one. This is a really nice breakout on big volume, good relative strength. Barely pulled back yesterday and today during a market bloodbath, so I like it. I think that one works pretty well. Let's go into custom search. I think that's where we're really going to find our opportunities. So I want some good option liquidity. Let's look for at least a 2 here. I would like to see stocks that have been strong relative to the SPY. So they could have been down, but they're not down as much as the SPY. Like to see a trade signal here. That's good. And could take a look and see what comes up with this search right now. Okay, we've got pretty good candidates here. Got a number of decent candidates. Awesome. Not too many to go through either. So we know we've got good option liquidity. We've got strength versus the S&P 500 on a daily, 4-hour, 2-hour basis, and we've got a buy signal. So all important criteria. We should see some pretty decent stocks here. Okay, down on the low, lots of tails under body. That's a sign of support on that major horizontal support level. Not interested. You could. That's not what I'm looking for right now. Here you've got a bounce off the 200-day moving average. It's trying to get through the 100-day moving average. This has got nice relative strength to it. Very choppy though. GFI, gold stock. Not interested in that one. Next one on the list is Lonard. No, it's off to the races. This will probably be a good long. It had earnings today before the open and it took off. That stock, and actually in my day trading video today I highlighted that one. Let's take a look at it. That was one of the ones I showed you, and I told you if you watched my video this morning, we were back in here and I said, look, this stock came back and it filled in the gap and it's strong relative to the market, and look at that strength right in there. Boom, boom, boom. Comes right back up. By the end of the day, it starts to grind and it takes out the high. So this is a very nice long. Earlier today, I also highlighted this one, which worked out pretty nicely on the long side, NIO. And I did the video right in here. And so at 150, you know, stock goes up 12 cents. That's a pretty nice gain on a $1.50 stock. That's probably an 8% gain or so. Not too shabby. So let's keep going down the list here. MTCH. We're going to go back to the daily chart because I want to see what it's doing on a daily basis. So, downtrend, failed breakout, big hammer right here. I'd like to see it close green, but look, we're starting to see some relative strength here. On days when the market's been down, it's actually starting to move higher. So you could try and sell a bullish put spread down here, but that's 64 versus 72. That's too far out of the money. 8 points out of the money, you're not going to get any premium. So here's how you got to play this one. You got to wait for it to get above that 100-day moving average, then you sell your put premium right at that 100-day moving average and use that technical support for leverage. MTCH, first one on the list. Netflix, nasty drop here. Big drop here. It's consolidating. It's holding its own down here, but I can't say that it's ready to buy yet. You can see how the relative strength is just starting to creep higher. So I'm not crazy about this one. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see it at very least get above this level right here. That's where it gapped down and it took out this horizontal support. I'd like to see it get back above that. Then we could start selling a put spread down here at the 255 level. Might have to get a little bit more aggressive on that move and sell that put spread down around this compression right here around the 268 level. But you need to see that breakout. It's got to prove that it can go higher. The fact that it has not sold off in the last 2 days is a very good sign that buyers are lining up on Netflix. So I'm going to write Netflix down just because I think this stock has got some support. Earnings will be coming up soon. Nike, we like Nike. Right through this horizontal breakout here, after earnings, stock gaps up. It's been able to hold the gap there. I like it. There's your breakout right there, right there. And look, touches it, tries to touch it, kind of got close. Good relative strength. I like Nike. I like selling Nike puts right below this. If that horizontal breakout fails, buy her back in. That's how you got to play it. This one I highlighted today in my day trading video. I like this formation. Stock down, nasty, nasty drop here. You get this big bullish hammer. The next day you get a big green candle, and today you still have relative strength with the stock above the 200-day moving average. This stock is going to move higher, OKTA, and I think that as it does so, you'll be able to sell that 100-day moving average, which is right around the 102 level. So you'd be selling a 102 put, maybe buying a 100 put. Do that for a credit spread. Relative strength starting to come up, volume really pretty decent. So I like that one. We've got a couple of them here I like. This one I put in my day trading video today too. Using a lot of the similar criteria here, we've got this big bullish engulfing pattern and then lots of relative weakness by the market. What does the stock do? It holds its own. In fact, I bought this stock after the video this morning, and there's where the video came out, and I saw it starting to creep higher, and I bought that stock right in this level and just held it into the close. I'm going to put up SPY, and there you can see the market starts to rally, but at the close, we got a pullback on the SPY. What did the stock do? It held the gains. This stock wants to go higher. I really like it. I think this stock is going to easily get back above that 100-day moving average, and you'll have some really nice bullish put spreads that you'll be able to sell. So SHOP, I like it. Let's see what else we've got here. Tesla, I like Tesla. Got a downtrend here that the stock is trying to break through. It tests that 100-day moving average, bullish hammer, nice big green bar, follow through, compression here with the market falling apart. Yeah, I think you could sell that 100-day moving average right there. Sell a put spread right at that 228 level and use that as your stop. So I'm going to put Tesla on the list. This has been a very, very good search here for us. And that's how it works. Got a stock, Alta, breaks out through horizontal resistance right here. And now it's in the gap with lots of room to run. Big market sell-off yesterday. Stock pushes higher. Big market sell-off today. Stock closes near its high of the day. Alta, I like it. I think I'm going to be done here because I've got more bullish picks than I even want right now. This is nice. Holding its own, trying to get above the 100-day moving average, WM. Nothing there. And that's the final one. This is not a bad stock. Got this downtrend that it broke. It's able to hold the gains, holds the gains in a market bloodbath, the stock is probably going to go higher as well. WU, Western Union, but it's not going to make the list. I got lots of stocks to put on this list. So I'm going to click lists. I'm going to click create, and I'm going to label this October 2nd, and let's start loading them up. So I had Snap, and I had TTWO were my two bearish picks, and I got a boatload of bullish picks. MTCH, NFLX, NKE, OKTA, SHOP, Tesla, Ulta. That's our list. Now let's go through each one. First, I'm going to give you a game plan on the stocks, and the very last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the market, and the market is the most important thing right now. So let's hit our couple of bearish picks first. For our bearish picks, we had Snap was one of them. If the market does what I am going to tell you in my concluding comments, and the market is below the level that it needs to be below, you can short this stock and use that 100-day moving average as your stop on a closing basis. And I'll tell you on the short side, the market is already going to be there. It's below the 100-day moving average. But you have to be very, 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 very careful intraday that we don't get one of these intraday reversals. So got to be really careful with the shorts right here. That's why I did not want to do many of them. TTWO, I like this downtrend. I like the breakdown right here. We're going to short if the stock is below the 100-day moving average, and then we're going to use that 100-day moving average as our stop on the way up. I would take profits on any short position if you see the market bouncing off of the 200-day moving average. I am expecting support at that level, and I'm expecting us to test it, but to test it very quickly and then to bounce off of it. So let's take a look at the bullish stocks. I like selling bullish put spreads. So sell them out of the money, distance yourself from the action, collect that premium. In the case of Match, I want to see it above the 100-day moving average, and then I want to sell the put spread right there below the 100-day moving average. If the stock pulls back below that 100-day moving average, we have to stop out of the position. We are going to need the market to behave as well, and I'll give you that in a few minutes. Netflix looks ready to go. I like this relative strength the last few days. Don't particularly like this breakdown in here, but earnings are going to be coming up in the next week or so. I think the stock finds a bid and it starts to creep higher and get to this resistance level. So ideally it gets above this resistance level that you can sell your bullish put spread, but if you're speculative and you really like Netflix and it starts moving higher, I think you can buy it right here. So let's just go with that. Netflix, if it can get through that high right there from yesterday, buy the stock. Nike, you can sell your bullish put spread right at that strike price there. That's about the $90 strike price. Should be able to get a pretty decent premium. You're $1.50 out of the money. If you want to squeeze it and go to the $90.50 strike, you can do that. OKTA, I like that one. You want the market to bounce, and then you want to sell at that 200-day moving average. Sell your bullish put spread right there. SHOP, I think, is going to go. I like this stock. I would buy that stock if it gets through the 100-day moving average. It's got lots of room to run. It is almost, well, it's broken down this steeper downtrend line. Almost will be breaking this one right here. It's got to get right above that 100-day moving average. I like SHOP. I think this is going to be a good one. Tesla, I think you can sell that 100-day moving average put spread right there. If it can get through this level, it will fill this in, and then you can sell a put spread right here with this as your stop. That's another strategy that you can use. Sell that expensive put premium on the notion that the market's not going to do anything gangbuster. This stock has a full head of steam. I think you can buy the stock. I think you can sell a put spread right here at the 255 strike on the notion that this breakout holds and the stock will not pull back below it. In fact, it will start to fill in this gap. So that's how I would approach each one of these stocks individually. That's the game plan. That's your stop right there. And now let's look at the market. So from a short perspective, you want to be below this low from today. We're probably going to see a bounce tomorrow early in the day, and then we will probe for support. So don't short until we take out this closing price right here. And the close was 288, let's call it. So as long as we're above 288 on the SPY, no short positions. If we get below 288, you can try those two shorts as long as they're relatively weak and they're below those major moving averages. So what are we looking at before we can take any of the bullish trades? Well, I'm not going to wait for us to get back above the 100-day moving average. Instead, what we're going to look for is we're going to look for a drop and an intraday low somewhere, perhaps at the low of the day here, could be at that 283 level in here. It's probably going to be above the 200-day moving average. I'm thinking that 284 level is probably where we see support, but we're looking for that big market drop, and then what I want to see is two back-to-back bullish candles, kind of like we had on the SPY today, except they were bearish candles. And today we had two candles like that. We want to see that off of the low. When we go down to 283, 284, we want to see big green candle with the bar closing on the high, big green candle with the bar closing on the high. That will signal to us that the low is in. We want to see follow through buying after that. And what we ultimately will have is a big bullish hammer off of that 200-day moving average. So it will look something like this bar right here with a 200-day moving average. So the market will open lower, it'll test that low, and then it'll close near the high of the day, except this candle, instead of being wedged in here, would be down here. So you get that big sell-off. It touches the 200-day moving average. Market reverses all the way back, closes near the high of the day, and then we get a nice bullish hammer. If we see a bullish hammer off of this 200-day moving average, that's your signal to sell bullish put spreads on the stocks that I highlighted. So you've got your stop for each individual stock position, each bullish put spread. You've got your stop built in. I already told you where that would be. Our stop on the market would be a close below the 200-day moving average. So look for that intraday reversal and a close back near the high of the day. We should get follow through the next day off of that. And all of these stocks that I've shown you today have really good relative strength. They should hold up very, very well. We'll be able to collect some nice put premium, take advantage of time decay, generate some income while the market's kind of waffling around into earnings season. That's it for me, folks. It's October 2nd. I will see you in a week, and we're going to take a look at all of these picks. Market first, market first, market first. Do not lose sight of that. That's the first caveat before you take any position that I showed you tonight. Good luck.